just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. He's punching me in the stomach. Like, punching me.
Here, is everyone saying around, who here thinks Ochiko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochiko can practice today. And I was like, I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the Spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like, they should
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Wednesday, August 14th. We are almost at the point in time in the sports world where we have too much to talk about. We're not there yet, but we got enough to talk to you to get through the show. We got a lot to talk about. NFL training camp still underway. Saints have had a couple good days in a row. Derek Carr seems to be clicking with the new offense. We'll see how that continues to go.
Trevor Penning is just lights out.
Trevor Penning is big time drops. He's a big setter.
Yeah.
Get real close to the quarterback so he can,
explode into
yeah,
it.
that's the idea.
New technique I'm working on.
I gotta know where the wall is. That way I know when I need to push. I need to know. Come on, get close to me right here.
In
dog.
theory,
Breathe on my neck.
In theory, good idea.
In reality,
it's not really working. I don't think the way he envisioned his head. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta go back to the drawing board, figure it out. Hopefully he does. He's got a couple more weeks, 3 more weeks before the real season starts, before the regular season starts. We'll see what happens there. Saints aren't the only NFL team out there that is going through some growing pains. Minnesota Vikings have had a tough offseason.
Tough.
Right?
Tough week.
You get tough week and then tough offseason, tough beginning of the camp. Jordan Addison, their first runner from last year, who had a great season last year, got carted off the field today with an ankle injury. Reports have come out said it's not as bad as
right
believed.
leg or left leg?
Right ankle, I believe.
Oh, that's good for him, actually.
Yeah.
Can't drive.
See? I knew you were going to. Not great.
Unless he wants to go lefty.
That's part, but look, you got to add that.
I've been driving with both feet lately. Because of this
That's
thing?
dangerous. Oh yeah, you get the boot.
I got the
You
boot.
could probably tell him how to handle the boot.
I mean, he probably has a car that has a clutch, so he'd be driving with both feet
Can't
anyway.
believe you wear that thing, man. That's
Right.
A
incredible.
clutch. I
Fucking
don't know if he's
style,
driving
brother.
a clutch. I don't think he's driving a clutch. He gets carted off. Not supposed to be as bad as they thought.
Faster in the cart.
They did have some injuries though.
Yeah.
They lost. Well, let's go down, right? The offseason starts, you get rid of Kirk Cousins signs with the Atlanta Falcons, so now you don't have a quarterback. You sign J.J. McCarthy in the first round. Hey, this guy is going to be the next guy. We like him. He goes out and has an unbelievable first preseason game.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Looked really good. Looked sharp. Was making good throws. Well, then news comes out after that. It says, hey, he has kind of a hurt knee. Goes in for an MRI. Okay, you're going to have surgery. Shouldn't be out for that long. Maybe be ready for the season. Then it comes out, torn meniscus, out for the year.
Bomb dropped.
Also, kind of a
Turns out an MRI can't fix your knee.
torn meniscus, though, doesn't feel like it's an end-of-the-year thing.
It usually isn't, but I guess they've started
Right?
figuring out different ways to go about this thing, and sometimes, like now, it's torn meniscus where we go in, we don't know exactly how bad it is until we go in and see, and sometimes it could be a couple weeks, or sometimes it could be the worst what it is right here.
I mean, that's 5 months.
Yeah, it's a
6
full
months.
season. It's a long time.
Well, they're in good hands.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, did you see that video of him in practice?
Did not.
There's what is believed to be a pick six in practice, and obviously non-contact jersey. He just throws it, immediately picked off, and he just hangs his head as the entire defense runs by him. And it's like, oh, that's your starter now.
That was kind of similar to was it the picture last year?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
That was 2 years,
2 years ago. Andy Dalton threw it, and his back was hurt, and the guy was diving in the end
Doing
zone.
a front flip. over the
Awesome
pilot.
picture, by
Yeah,
the way.
a
Great picture.
Yeah.
Not great for Andy. Great picture for everyone else, but Andy, or on the other team, everyone else. So Vikings are going through it right now. Sam Darnold is the starter. He was named the starter once the news came out with J.J. McCarthy.
Felt like at that point, right?
Yeah, right. Felt like J.J. Now here's an idea, right? Kirk Cousins goes to Atlanta, signs the deal. He's supposed to be their starting quarterback.
Don't do
He's recovering from
Don't do it.
Achilles surgery, right? Got paid money, a lot of money, to be a starting quarterback. Well, they go ahead and they draft a starting quarterback, technically a future,
Don't do
in Penix, right? Penix is not like he's a young guy. He's a fifth-year guy. He's an older guy. He's not. They don't really care if he stays. I mean, it's a sits on the bench. They're ready for him to play now. Minnesota
Needs a quarterback.
needs a quarterback. What if
They have
Atlanta
a
signs
quarterback.
him?
What do you mean?
What if
Sammy.
Atlanta signs him, and all of a sudden, we need a quarterback. Let's get him back. We'll give you some more assets to get him back. He already signed, so it's not going to be that expensive of a draft pick. You already have the money. We'll take the contract, or else rent him, like soccer
They can't
teams.
take the damn contract. They gave all the money to Justin.
Like
That's the reason why they gave him the money.
like
You know what
soccer
you
teams.
do.
Like soccer teams.
You send
hey,
J.J. McCarthy in that package. You want to sit a quarterback for a year anyway. You take J.J. McCarthy. We'll take Penix.
What?
Fair, all is fair in love and war. Everybody's
so you
happy.
give him a backup quarterback.
Right, because Kirk's going to play anyway. And so you're just going to sit Penix. So J.J. can't play. He can sit.
Well, I think that if they wanted
I think
Penix,
if
they
they
could
wanted,
have drafted
yeah, but I
him.
said they were drafted in front of him. They wanted him. They would
Yeah.
have taken him.
Well, now you're in a different spot.
They're not.
Could be an
The Falcons
interesting.
aren't.
Could be
Minnesota
an interesting,
is.
could be
Yeah,
an
you
interesting
you
opportunity.
saw J.J. in that first preseason game. A lot of tape out there.
Could be interesting. You know, I don't think it's gonna happen. Sam Darnold, look,
Oh, now that we know
come back. You get another opportunity. What if he just figures it out?
Hey,
Good offense. McConnell
quarterback whisperer.
is a great quarterback coach, great offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Who knows? But they're going through it. They lose their top cornerback.
And how we've seen
One of their starting cornerbacks at the beginning of camp, and then they lose another one tragically over the summer in a car accident. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, and how we've seen how trades actually do go down in the NFL.
Well, or not go down.
It's a lot of kicking the tires with the boys.
Speaking of trades, right? Brandon Ayuk supposed to get traded, got traded. At least that's what the reports were. Then not got traded, and hasn't gotten traded. Now apparently the 49ers want him back. Still trying to sign the deal, but they also have a trade in place with the Steelers in case they don't sign him back. Wild situation that Brandon Ayuk is in. Had a really good year. I think he had 1,300 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns last year.
On only like 75 catches.
Right.
Wouldn't even.
Right. He's a number one receiver. Obviously, the Steelers have brought in, there's a lot of hype going on right now. They've brought in a lot of help. They have 2 quarterbacks who One was number 1 overall pick, right? Justin Fields 1 overall. No,
I don't think he
No,
was 1-1.
9.
I don't think he
Justin
was 1-1.
Fields 9,
Yeah.
9 overall, first round pick.
He was the first
and then
round,
obviously you got Russell Wilson, who's over there who hasn't played. He's kind of banged up. They're trying to get another number 1 receiver because they have George Pickens, which you'd imagine he's going to take that next step.
Their 2 right now, I believe, is Van Jefferson. So
Yeah, right. So you want to
you want another one.
You want to go get another one. They say they have a trade in place. If it falls through the contract, we'll see what happens. And the Cowboys. I don't love the
Cowboy
Cowboys. Are they cheap? That's been the conversation. Mike Greenberg was
Heard
on
today.
Mike Greenberg was on Pat McAfee show today, basically saying how they are known to be the cheapest organization as far as paying their players in the league.
They've basically, if you like watching baseball too, they've basically gone about the offseason like the Marlins or somebody will go about it. Like they don't pay, they don't get the payroll up, and they just will draft and develop, and that's how we'll grow a team, and that has not really panned out.
Hasn't really worked. They haven't
And
done
win
really
well
anything.
in postseason wins. They've done a lot in the
regular season. Great,
Yeah, yeah.
regular season team. Not winning championships. Haven't won one since the '90s.
Which this one I really don't understand either, because this one, the Dak one, like we could sit here and argue Dak's situation all day,
right?
And not that I'm sitting here saying if I'm in their shoes, I would do what they're doing with Dak. But the CD one, you can't really argue, dog. Like you drafted him, you developed him, he has performed for you, he has stayed out of trouble, and you still won't pay him.
Yeah, he's wearing your 88.
If you paid him a year ago, you could have paid him like $25 million and got him at a discount.
Yeah.
You didn't pay him now, and now you can't even get him at $35.
And it's
just goofy.
That's the other conversation, right? All these receivers want these contract extensions, which is great. That's fine. And these teams don't want to give it to them early on. They want to wait. It ain't going backwards.
No.
It's only going to continue to go up. So if you, like you said, if you'd have given the contract to him, it's expensive, but you give it to him last year, now all of a sudden this year you're getting him at a $10 million bargain, technically, of what he's technically worth. So I don't know. Not only did they have to sign him, Dak obviously in the last year of his deal. I have a feeling Dak is done in Dallas.
I don't have a feeling that. I mean,
I
guess if you look at their actual team right now, no, like I don't. Even if CD's back, I don't sit here and say, yeah, I think they'll be in the NFC Championship or better. I don't. If they do that,
He's back.
he may be back.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's what they'll do. But
they also got to sign Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
right.
They can't sign all three of them.
No.
Dude. Like this is just not going to happen.
So I think Dak is going to be the odd man out.
They didn't wait.
What?
They could have if they didn't
could've.
wait. But now they're at the point now where it's like, hey, bro, we can't sign all three of y'all. One of y'all is going to cost me $60 million a year. I think I could go a different route.
Yeah.
Dak might be the odd man out.
I think Dak's the odd man out, which opens the
fine
door.
with.
Opens the
Could be
door.
good for. It could be great for Saints fans, you know.
I would say opens the
It
doors
could
maybe
be.
for
It
New
could
Orleans.
be.
Is he going to end up in New Orleans? Who knows? I don't know what that situation is, but obviously he's from Louisiana. Come back home.
Play tight end.
Yeah, position change at this point in his career.
Thanks for coming home. We're doing what we always try to
listen,
do.
This is what we
Put
knew.
your hand in the dirt, kid.
We knew better. We knew better. All the success you had. Think how much more success you had you played tight end. You know, so we'll
That's what
see.
Les was
We've
pitching.
been looking for another Jimmy back here. Get on over there.
Show me some
Maybe
grit.
that seam route.
Yeah.
So
Put
we'll
that
see.
ankle to the test.
We'll see. There's also some other drama, right, that happened with the Cowboys. Wasn't there a fight with a coach?
Oh, that was the mistake of the day.
Okay, so we'll wait till we get there.
Yes.
Yeah,
A wild
Cowboys-
move.
Cowboys in the media for not the good reasons.
Well, they were in the media too because they, are now the richest sports franchise.
Yeah.
ever.
Jerry Jones, great job on that.
10 billion plus
Yeah.
right now.
Great business guy. Great business mind. Listen, he knows things that I've never run a team. He's done it for a really long time. The most profitable professional franchise out there. But they haven't won a championship.
Could you imagine buying something for a little over, I think, 100 and maybe 40 something million, and I don't know, years later that it's worth
$10
billion.
That's fun.
That's a good day for you, man.
That's a good day.
Woo!
Good
I don't want
day.
to spend any of it though.
Good day for the Jones family.
Staying in the Trace Commons
Yeah,
Club.
Hey, listen, we're gonna spend it on the stadium.
Well, he
We're
spends
gonna
it on
spend
staying
on everything outside.
He spends
the
it on
stadium.
staying in every show's top 5 talking points. That's where it's at.
We're gonna spend
How we
it.
get in that?
We're gonna spend it on the fan experience and all the events that we can have because it's gonna make me more money. And then we're gonna get good enough to be able to have all this hype, but not quite good enough to win the whole thing. And then I'm gonna go out in the media and I'm gonna have all this war of words with my star receiver technically, and then I'm going to backtrack, but then not really backtrack. It was weird because CD Lamb
We
comes
miss
out
you, but not right now.
and says, like, Jerry Jones comes out and says, hey, CD, like, we're not, there's no sense of urgency right now to sign him. He's not going to be missed.
What if
and
Jerry?
then CD says LOL, right? And then so Jerry Jones doubles down and says, CD, you are missed. We love you. But, and then he kind of like gives this like little jab at the end of basically saying, everybody's replaceable in a sense. Not great.
What if Jerry was like playing real chess right now, and he was like, "Look, we ain't got much else at the receiver spot. We'll see you when the season starts, kid. I need to make sure you don't get hurt."
Yeah. And maybe.
He's not doing that. But what if he was? He's not doing that. But what if he was?
He played hardball with Michael Irvin at some
He
point.
played hardball
I put it with
with
Steve Irwin.
He
which would be
played
a hell of a
hardball with
guy.
Emmitt Smith.
Lost
I don't know if y'all
too.
remember that one of the years they won, and Emmitt Smith missed the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
They signed him. He goes on to win the Super Bowl MVP, and they won that year. Like, bro, he been doing this this is not new for Jerry. He been doing this nonsense.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be, obviously, NFL's 3 weeks away. They still have time to figure it out. Preseason games start back up tomorrow. Hard Knocks episode 2 was on last night. I have not watched it. I'm always delayed. Y'all have watched it. Y'all have showed me some clips. Obviously, it looks awesome.
Even Hard Knocks was delayed last night.
What was the deal with that?
Forgot to push the button.
Yeah, what did happen right
They
there?
didn't forget to push the button. What happened, though?
They just didn't release it until like an hour later. Hey, been there.
But is that on them, or is that like, was there like
Like if
actual
you were
technical
watching it,
difficulties?
if you were watching the stream,
That's what I would say.
They put out something. If you were watching the stream and they just didn't have it ready to go on time. So like, I think it aired on time if you were watching it like not streaming. I guess if like you were paying through like a cable provider and like watching it through there, but it didn't stream if you were a streamer and you were trying to find it, you couldn't get it until like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I don't know, something like that.
Just building the hype,
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were trying to do.
Building the anticipation.
I don't think
of
that was
that.
purposely done.
And obviously, we're not just here talking NFL or Saints or Vikings or Cowboys. Here to talk, obviously, LSU football. LSU is continuing their quest for a playoff and national championship run this year, and preparing for their first game of the season in Las Vegas. A lot of camp notes, a lot of things that have happened. John Emery back on the field again, scores a touchdown on the goal line.
Hell yeah.
Situations that they have. He has been on and off the field for pretty much every practice for the last 4 days. And it's just them trying to get his knee back and making sure he looks good. Nothing structurally, just kind of trying to get the cobwebs out of the knee. So we're going to get into all of that. That is the end of the Heineken headlines. It's obviously Wednesday, which means it's Ask Mikey and Mitch Wednesday. Not sure that it was put on social media, but look, I'm announcing it right now on the show. If you're listening, you're watching, go ahead, put some questions in the chat. We'll get to as many as we can get to. Lloyd's going to prompt a lot of our questions throughout the course of the day.
I'm already getting fussed at by Fonzarelli. Dick Cheese, why don't you take our questions for Monday and save them? Respect the safety of the segment. It's on Wednesday.
Well,
I do appreciate.
You could go, maybe good ones just copy and paste in the.
I like to make him think again.
Okay,
it's like a
that's
rewrite,
good. That's
rough
good.
draft, and now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
time to turn it in the paper.
Yeah, like now you're on the spot. You have to, repeat your questions.
Sometimes they come out better.
Sometimes, right? Because hey, they didn't come out right when I typed it. So let me redo it.
It's like a rough draft.
doubt.
You wouldn't know anything about that. These papers
Rough
are
drafts?
written for you.
No way. I was always a paper writer.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Listen, writing papers is one of my things. 'Cause I knew enough about what I was talking about, and so if I could write it, I could bullshit my way through it.
But so look at what we're doing now. We wrote papers, okay? Because we bullshit our way through this.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a
Yeah.
while, okay?
I can now if it's
Periods
like,
will be
hey,
extra big today.
there's only one correct answer here, and you have to guess on that. That's a little different. But
I can double space here?
yeah, make the periods, enlarge the periods just a little bit.
I used to write them all in single space and then double space and be like, oh, yeah, I'm done.
Finish the, you would never try to finish a word at the end of a line like, let me go ahead and slip to that. That's going to,
Put that header footer in.
come on.
I would go. It was always the periods were just a little
Oh,
bigger.
that's the move.
That's the move. Just now they do like, oh, you have word count, and it's like whatever. But papers I could do. If you give me hey, this is the right or wrong, and you got a multiple choice, and you got to make the right decision, like that's a little bit harder to bullshit your way through. You may understand it and you may know it, but like, you know the concept, but you don't really know the factual answer. So it's like papers,
Like,
you can just It's a wide.
dude,
It's a nice canvas. You can do whatever you want with that canvas.
There's multiple choice. I would write to the side of what I was thinking and why I picked my answer and why it could have been this one. But I want you to know, I do know what you're talking about.
Bro, you used to write that on the side?
You used to like
As if like they would care.
I know the answer.
Hey, here's my Scantron, but make sure you look at my test as well.
Read your work.
Number 16.
Oh my
Let me
God.
see your work. That's when you used to go and take the math class in the math lab, and you had to like show the work. Make sure you turn in your work. Like, no, I'm not doing that. It's multiple choice. You made me do it on the computer. There's no work on the computer. So
Even looking at this blue book.
bullshit.
Don't miss that.
Don't miss that. We're not going to talk about that. We are going to talk LSU. They're on day 11 of training camp or practice, preseason practice, whatever the hell you want to call it. 11 days in this heat. That's a long time.
Hell yeah.
That makes it feel like 11 years.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. If they still have these things right now, I know, this is what it used to be a thing. And you take this throughout the season, but this is the time in camp where you get there in the morning, you show up, you get to your individual meeting rooms. They bring in the practice schedule for the day or for that practice. First thing you do is I'm not looking at any of the times. I'm going straight down to the bottom. How many periods do we have today? So I know mentally, bro, this is what I need out this body today. How many periods do we have? And is there extra running at the bottom of it? So I know how I got to empty the gas tank today. I know what I can put in there. And when you see a short number of periods, you're like, oh, that love today. We got a good day today. When you see 20 plus, you're like, oh no, this is hell. Oh no, this is not good.
It's real.
Get it on your mind at that point right there. That's where you at right now. It's hot.
I was about to say that's where LSU is right now.
They've been, 3 straight days outside? They're going to go 3 more days outside before a active work day, I think, or a light work day, however they labeled it on Sunday.
That's one of those Coach Moffitt's mobility day, rest day. Get stretched. Like, I don't feel like that's all we're doing today.
Stretch and stride. No, it'll be like it was light days.
No, it's still gonna be hot though. It's still hot out. That the AC doesn't come on outside if you're doing that. Now that may be inside. I'm not 100% sure on that. But look, football season is it 10 days away? 9 days away?
I think it's like 11 days. It's knocking at your door right now.
Let's see. The first game is on August 24th. So that's 10 days away.
10 days away. We'll be 9.
Florida State at Georgia Tech in Dublin on ESPN, right? And then you got some stinkers after that.
Oh, we'll watch all of them, though.
Montana State at New Mexico, SMU at Nevada. I got to dust off the betting app. We're back.
Oh, no.
We're back, baby.
It is that time of the year.
We are back. Look, football is the only thing I like to do. I like to dabble in, It's because there's so many games and there's so much interest that you want to put something on it to be able to watch.
And you do so well.
Huh?
You do so well.
There's no ups and downs, right? Ups and downs of
No. College football. Okay, that's where it is.
Yeah, NFL gets me.
NFL be sticking a big mud hole in his ass.
Yeah, every time. But college football is great. Then the NFL would take it all back, and then basketball is what really took me off the betting train.
That's a fucking prayer.
Basketball made him forget his password.
Basketball, I have to open up a new account, I think, because I don't remember anything. Not great, but there may be some dollars thrown on some of the games that we have on August 24th.
That Aaron Rodgers week 1 really threw a wrench in the plan.
Oof.
Hey,
Oof.
listen. NFL has the New York Jets in a bunch of primetime games again. Okay, so they are doubling down on what they did last year, right? And NFL fans.
Now they got smart though. The back end of those prime times are flexers.
You have to, right? Because if
show me you can stay here. They're flexers.
Because look, had they stayed healthy, had Aaron Rodgers stayed healthy last year, it would have been a whole different type of season. It would have been entertaining. People would have tuned in. Then wasn't flexible. He got hurt, and now it's like, oh man, we have to watch the Jets again.
Zach Wilson show.
Yeah, it's tough. Zach Wilson, backup quarterback in Denver. No.
Back up.
I mean, he's on the rooster.
He's on the rooster. I don't know where on the rooster.
2 or 3 right now.
Yeah, definitely starting. You think Stidham's better than him?
I think that Sean Payton probably likes him more.
Yeah. Sean Payton went and got both of them.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So all 3 quarterbacks Sean Payton specifically brought in.
Loves height challenged.
And here's the deal.
I think Sean Payton has a personal vendetta to make, if he ever has to play him, to make Zach Wilson look like a a competent NFL quarterback. I really do think that's like.
I will say
I
this.
can do it.
I will say this though. When Zach Wilson came out of the draft, right? Was Sean still in New Orleans?
That's a good question.
Because I remember watching him. I remember watching Zach Wilson play at BYU and thinking, "Damn, like I would love for us to get him, for the Saints to draft him, and let Sean kind of do his thing with him." I remember telling that to people watching this game in college because BYU obviously playing late night and
Gambling.
what's that?
Gambling.
See, that's the problem. He was watching this with money on it late night after a long day.
No, but I didn't
he wasn't in his right, his sober, focused mind at that point.
This is college before we knew that Zach Wilson was not going to be good in the NFL.
He wasn't in a sober, focused mind at that point.
No, I was sober as can be because it was like a Friday night game. It was not even a Saturday night game. I had not come back from an LSU game, and I'm like trying to watch it with one eye open. I was actually watching like, man, this guy seems like he'd be a guy that. This is before he skyrocketed the first round. This is like he's kind of coming on the map. Like, damn, this guy would be a good third rounder that Sean could get and develop.
A lot of Mahomes trades.
And look, he brought him back to Denver, and who knows? But he's over there. We don't have to watch him play prime time with the New York Jets, though. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers. You think he brings a flag out again?
I don't know. Maybe. Did y'all hear the story that the
But
flag
that was
did y'all hear the
9/11,
story of the
so.
flag too? By the way, y'all hear him talk about?
Yeah, he's like, wasn't gonna do it.
Wasn't supposed to do it
Yeah.
at all. He just saw everybody going out with little ones, and he was like, "Give me that damn thing."
Yeah.
Give me one of those big ones. I don't care.
Yeah.
He has the chance to do the funniest thing ever.
What?
To do it again.
Like tears Achilles again? That would not be the funniest thing ever.
What's wrong with you? You are
That'd be
so
awful.
Like, why would you do that?
That would be awful.
Wish
But-
that on another man.
Just be good Jets.
You're
Content.
terrible. The Jets do find a way to Jets, though. Like,
Well,
that's what they're doing.
outside of Hassan Reddick,
right now,
right,
yeah.
which is a disaster. Outside of that news, there hasn't been much news coming out of the Jets practices,
Which is good.
which is a good news,
It's good.
right? The whole thing was, they got blown out of proportion. Aaron Rodgers missed practice because he was in Egypt doing his thing, right?
Doing whatever he wants.
Scheduled. I'd imagine that they knew about it, and I don't think it was handled the right way. And so he's gone, comes back, and seems like everything's running smoothly at practice. Peter Schrager said it was the crispiest practice he's seen of any NFL team yet when he was out there visiting them. So no news on that front is good news. The Hassan Reddick stuff, not good.
Well, here's the thing. There's two sides of the Jets, right? Like the one side is what we've always known is the Jets are going to Jets. They are going to find a way to mess it up. That's what they've done. They've done that for a long time, and the diehard Jets fans know it. And then there's the other side of what is right now, what was supposed to be last year. Look, man, Robert Saleh's a really good coach.
Yep.
They have a really good defense. They got a good defensive coordinator who's also running that defense for them. And Aaron Rodgers does not turn the ball over. It's hard to imagine a world where that team isn't super competitive if he's healthy and on the field, right? And so, like, that's what you thought you were going to get last year. That's what we're hoping we get this year with him in the situation that he's in. We will see, but the Hassan Reddick thing is crazy to me.
Crazy.
The simple fact that you would make a trade and
not
kind of
sign
having
him.
principle in the mindset of like a handshake deal, like, hey, we're gonna get this thing done, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna come in, and now he's like, hey, I'm not coming in unless I get the money, and they're like, hey, we're not gonna talk about trade, we're not gonna talk about giving you the money unless you come in, and he's like, well, trade me again then.
So here's my question: is that on the Jets, or is that on Hassan Reddick, or is that on
I
both?
don't know. I don't know where it fell apart at. That's the thing. Like, I gotta imagine that was talked about. Maybe there was somewhat of a, not even like a number thrown out of just an idea of I need to be in this range and we're comfortable with putting you in this range and we'll make it happen and that's how we'll do it. And it just has gone completely south. It is nowhere near that right now, and we don't know where this thing's going to go because
Yeah.
he's asking for another trade. Been in the building one day. He's like, hey, trade me again.
Two trades in 4 months in the NFL is wild.
Yeah.
It's more like an NBA move there. Like, I don't think you see that often, but like I could see that happening more in like an NBA move than NFL move. But the Jets are going to do things that are going to look. They're in the media. The Jets haven't been real relative in the NFL world in a long time.
Relevant.
Since what did I say?
Relative.
Well, I mean, they were relevant last year until they were not.
Yeah, you're right.
And they still were relevant because they were on every primetime
right.
game.
Well, yeah. I say relative, relevant.
And then their relatives would watch the game.
Yeah,
no
doubt.
That's who did it.
No doubt. I told you I've been mentally I've been on a cloud all day today. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here.
The cloud on your phone, the one that's up in the air? Or?
The iCloud. Yeah, the iCloud. It's just a little muggy iCloud on top of me. I don't think they travel over here. They travel. It's just this one's just following like a cartoon.
This man said he thought he was having a stroke.
I don't know what was going on.
Am I having a stroke?
And then Lloyd proceeded to say, I wouldn't turn the cameras off if you did.
Yeah,
Great content.
What?
That would not be good.
What?
I would
You
like
would
for
keep
that
that
to
on
happen.
camera? That's not.
All right.
Cutting it.
What?
Wake up.
Let's talk about LSU football. All right. We talked about them getting back in practice. They talk about John Emery doing it. They had some at this point in the year, you're going to have situations in your practice and part of the segments, right, that you have in practice. You have 11 on 11, you have 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, you have individual portions of practice, and then you have whatever specific situation, whether that's 2-minute drill, whether that's goal line, whether that's your back, whatever the situation is. Today it was goal line segment.
Well, it was red zone too.
Red zone.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it said goal and red zone and goal line because it said the goal line segment was at the 10-yard line in. So that's kind of the situation, which obviously very important because once you get in the red zone, that's kind of when everything kind of squeezes up and narrows in.
And that's what Paul. That's what Brian Kelly started.
Yeah, Paul.
There's a chat about the track question about Paul. We'll get to that. But Brian Kelly.
Track? I thought you said there's a track question about Paul.
No, there's a chat question.
Chat question.
But
Got it.
about BK, who was talking about the red zone, he said it was a mentality day, and he was talking about the defense being backed up, and he was saying, is this something that you feel like should we do the easy thing and give up a touchdown, or are you going to bow your neck, bite down on your mouthpiece, and bow your neck and get a stop?
Right.
And it turns out that the LSU defense came to play a little bit today.
Yeah. I must say, here's what I love about what they're doing right now, and obviously today is a kind of a culmination of how they've been doing some of this, but the defensive staff that you've put in has come with so much energy and so much fire, and obviously they're implementing their defensive philosophy and how they want to run their defense and what they want to do and getting those guys acclimated to that, which is great. That's what you need. They need to be able to do that, and that's kind of what camp is for. But what they seem to have not lost in this camp is not so much working on 1, 2, 3, you fit this outside shoulder. It is a attitude and a culture of competition, and it's man against man, me against you, and it's dudes trying to win every snap, every rep, in all those situations while figuring out where and how am I going to fit in these roles. And I think being able to do that is huge because, so much when you practice, you forget about that there's always going to be that competition element there that you can't eliminate just because you're trying to get technique and alignment and assignment and fundamentals down. And it seems like they're doing a really good job this year especially of making sure that there's so much damn competition and enthusiasm around the competition every day when they're doing it.
Well, I think that's the big thing, right? Look, there's going to be sometimes situations that through the course of the year that there's going to be either mental lapse or there's going to be a mix-up and there's going to be, they're going to give up some plays. I'm not saying that they're going to happen a lot, and it hopefully doesn't happen very often at all. But the one thing that has been a consistent theme of this defense so far in camp is the energy and the passion and what they're playing and how hard they're playing. And that was the one thing that we really didn't see last year, right? Take away all the, third down conversions we gave up, take away all of the, big busted plays that we gave up on defense. Part of all of that, you look at it and be like, man, it doesn't look like these guys have any passion or any energy or playing hard at all, right? And whether that's true or not, that was the perception of it. And so it's nice to see these guys have that type of energy and that type of mentality.
But before you move on to, I'll say this, so I'll add this part to it too. People have to understand, if I'm getting this type of enthusiasm and energy and passion and it's day one or day two, that's great. Good.
Yeah.
But when you're getting beat on and leaned on and fighting on in the sun and in the heat and the same dudes and sweating through and you're doing the same thing every day and we're 11 days in and I'm still getting that level of it, that shows me that the culture's changing. That shows me that they're bought in. And when you get guys to buy in, you can get guys to play above whatever their ceiling, whatever you thought their ceiling was.
Well, and Brian Kelly's come out and said, the kids love playing for Blake Baker. They have a, camaraderie, like chemistry with the group of guys. And I think that's important. That's something you didn't feel like you had last year. Right? And so that, to me, that in itself is going to make the defense better.
What felt like
top 30.
Felt like with your guy last year, Matt House, it was a lot of NFL type of preparation approach to what you were doing, as opposed to Blake Baker, younger guy, understands college football and actually wants to bring a little bit of energy and enthusiasm. Like Greg Penn got a stop today on 3rd and goal. Like him and Caleb Jackson meeting the hole, 3rd down stop. Blake Baker runs on the field and starts like trying to pick up Greg Penn. That's something that I don't see Matt House doing, and you've seen him catch an interception, return it, see him drop an interception, give you push-ups. Like his energy is infectious, and they had some plays today in the goal line situation or inside the 10, and defense got 2 straight stops all in the air, or 3 straight stops all in the air, and you had Blake Baker on the side and we whooping that ass.
Yeah.
We whooping that ass.
And that's what you want.
And here's the thing, even if it's not Blake Baker, you usually need to have somebody who's either willing to and or allowed to do it.
Right.
That's usually, you don't always find that. Like, it's hard to, there's a lot of times where stuff like that gets lost in translation and you just don't have that kind of energy and enthusiasm around a program. Coming from the defensive coordinator himself, it bodes well for them going throughout the year.
And you saw it with the Detroit Lions on that Hard Knocks whenever they had 2 former players as like the running backs coach.
Well, exactly. I mean,
the,
you had Dan Campbell doing it. You had Deuce Staley doing it. You had the defensive coordinator doing it. You had Kelvin Shepard. They had everybody who literally seemed like, damn, them dudes was just playing ball like 6 years
ago. They're acting like they're practicing.
And now they running this thing as if like they still playing ball.
Yeah.
And you see what it turned into.
And there's a lot of people saw the other perspective, like this place is a madhouse. Like, how are they going to get anything done? It's like because they want to come to work.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting a little bit from LSU. Obviously, you have Brian Kelly at the top. And I don't think he's jumping around hooting and hollering, but he's not supposed to.
And that's what I said. Like, it doesn't have to be everyone. It doesn't have to come from the top. But being able to either have it and or allowing somebody, whether it's a strength and conditioning guy, whether it's a GA, just somebody that's bringing that thump to practice that is well received by the players, that shit goes a long way, man, because it's hot, bro. It's hot out there. It's hard out there. It's hot as shit out there. And to get guys to continue to go out there and give you that kind of effort, it says a lot.
Yeah.
It really does.
No doubt. And that's what makes me super excited about what we could see from the defense, because that just in itself is going to make the defense better.
Yeah.
Right? They have enough talented guys to get the job done, and I think the energy level is going to make it that much better. Ashton Stamp's been the highlight of the defense throughout the course of these August practices. Like, every time a report comes out, I think there's only been one day where you really looked at it and said, man, Ashton Stamp's had a tough day. He's obviously coming off an injury or surgery in the offseason, but he has been the number 1 cornerback on the team. Now, we assumed when August practice started, okay, we got everybody's been counting in Zy Alexander. Oh, we got Zy Alexander back. He was really good last year until he got hurt, all these types of things. Doesn't look like he's going to be available until probably, middle of the year, it feels like. Early part, maybe after the first month and a half of the season. So
that would be the middle of the year.
Yeah, I guess that would be right in the middle of the year, right?
Month and a half.
That would be literally right in the middle of the year. Literally right in the middle of the year. After the first bye week, because now there's 2.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have to go out and who's going to figure out who's going to be in that other slot.
You know what I love too about what they have going on in the secondary right now is it seems to be that Ashton Stamps is taking a huge leap forward in his progression, and I'm excited to see him on the field this year. But there are pretty much all unknown names back there, so you're going to see teams go at him. You're going to see people try him early, and you're going to get a chance to see, like, hey, is this shit real or is it not? So I'm excited to see it because there is no game plan for LSU, and this guy's off limits, at least not for the first few weeks, at least not for the first month of the season. It's, hey, game's open. Let's go get all of them right now because we feel like we can get them until you show us that we can't get you.
Just some highlights of Ashton Stamps. That's a pick, maybe.
Oh, that's the interception. So here's my question, right? If he's on one side, who's on the other?
Oh, that's who emerged today. Just who had a good day of practice was J.K. Johnson.
There you go.
Previously ejected from practice, I believe, yesterday for
fighting.
Got in 2 fights. The second one was too much fight. Gotta go. Sending you. Today, bounced back and apparently had a great day at camp.
Great. You love to see that, right? Came in from Ohio
Especially
State.
with the Zach Alexander news, where it felt like not coming along as quickly as John Emery with the same injury, but it has happened at that position. I feel like, at least that's what Brian Kelly said, it's a much tougher position to recover from that injury. I mean, I know it's true, but I'm just saying for the layperson, or if you're like running back and corner, what's the difference? But at that position, it's a big difference, and they're moving him along slowly because you have to. So they are looking for that second cornerback to step up.
Yep. Well, in this day and age, you're going to have multiple, not just 2 or 3. You're going to have probably 4 or 5 of those guys out there that are going to be able to play. You have P.J. Woodland. You have those types of guys who, like you said, are all really unproven, but super talented.
Sage
Ryan. Obviously, he's gonna continue to go back and forth.
Yeah, but and that's one that's kind of he's gotten lost a little in translation in this camp, which that could either be good or bad, right? Like, you just don't know. But if he's able to come out and be productive for him this year, that's a big lift for him.
As of now, right, the first team defense, and as far as practice goes, Savion Jones, which you'd imagine is going to be on the edge. Paez is going to be a defensive tackle. Guillory, who's back, kind of a scare yesterday, back on the field today, a defensive tackle.
got in a fight.
Did he get ejected?
No, need him.
Well, he didn't. He took off Emory Jones' helmet and threw it at him and didn't get ejected.
No, he got grabbed by Bo Davis and brought to the side. And
he just threw it at him. He didn't try to actually hit him. He didn't Miles Garrett him. He just said, "Here, take your helmet back."
Yeah, I think you were
but it
going
was
to
but it was the old number 1 too. Like, hey, throw me the heater on the corner. 0-2.
Yeah, maybe a little sinker on him. Hit him around the kneecaps.
a little chest pad.
Yeah, because I know they don't wear knee pads anymore, so right in the kneecap.
It wasn't. I can tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't a chest pass.
No.
It wasn't right here for you to feed it and put it in right there. No,
maybe a little shin burger.
Yeah.
Just feel the face mask on the shins for a little bit because I don't feel very good. But he was back. He's obviously a big piece of the defensive line. Swinson, one of the veteran guys on the edge. Harold Perkins, linebacker. Greg Penn, linebacker. Major Burns, star. And then you got Stamps, and in the starting rotation, you have Sage Dry on the other cornerback with Jordan Gilbert and Jordan Allen, the two safeties. So, that sounds like a pretty good. I know people are kind of going to be like, oh, shit, here we go again with Sage Dry on the other cornerback spot. Hold on, last year was the first time they really did that with him, and he had to figure some stuff out. It's a different scheme. Let's hold off on the judgments right now. Let's see how he adjusts to that. Second team, though, you have a lot of cornerbacks that I think are talented enough to kind of send to that first team spot, but aren't there quite.
See,
yet.
and I look at it the other way around. When I look at the second team, I'm looking up front, and I'm like, man, I'm okay with. For sure, in my mind right now, today, with seeing a lot of Womack, with seeing a lot of Relaford right now. So if that's right now in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, that's 6 guys we got in a rotation. If the other 2,
Shan had some moments.
I'm just saying the other 2, Shan and Suggs can step up and be as consistent, if you will. Well, now you're looking at about 6 to 8 guys that we can rotate and keep fresh in there. That's what you're looking for.
That's what you're looking for.
Let's be honest. I'm sorry. If I don't have a Will Anderson, if I don't have an absolute bookend guy that I know is a top-end producer, man, I need some bodies out there who's going to be relentless, who's going to give me crazy effort, who's going to swarm to the football. That's what you need right there. And I think it's rounding out to look like we have something kind of that's going to work that way.
Yeah. To note, Mason Taylor had an acrobatic catch today. So,
for 1,000 yards or
for
just
1,000 yards? It was an acrobatic catch for 1,000 yards today. It was amazing. They said they actually.
I think the yard counter still goes the same.
If you read between the lines on how this was written, I think that everybody thinks he's going to get 1,000 yards this year.
Hey, Field Yates is.
But is it still 3 feet equals 1 yard?
Well, yeah.
Because I think it's still going to be hard to get to 1,000 if it is.
Yeah.
I don't care how acrobatic it is. I think it's still going to be the same.
I think we brought it down to 750.
How many feet are in a mile?
I think we brought it down to 750. But yeah, so he's doing things. Listen, I was going to see more of.
That's not the acrobatic.
That wasn't the acrobatic catch.
This is the acrobatic
Great
catch.
Ball. Great
Yeah,
ball.
in the bucket.
Great ball. I thought you'd see more in the red zone situations of Trey Green and those tight ends.
No, keeping that in. They got to keep that.
They didn't say much about him. They may have had moment.
Kamorian Pipton has taken the role over after all of the Trey Green hype. I guess his neck started to burn a little bit, and he said, "No.
Okay,
I've been
so
here."
He's been lighting it up.
Yes,
that's great news.
So now you get both of them going.
That's all 3 of them. All 3 tight ends.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
30,
all 3.
What, 13 personnel?
Hey, I mean, I'm willing to bet those 3 tight ends are as talented, if maybe not more talented than any other tight end group in the
Are you
country.
willing to bet that those 3 tight ends will produce 1,000
yards
together?
Ooh, that's actually a better question than the main. No, I don't think they're going to do that. Okay,
So are you
1,000
willing to
yards
put
is
that bet in
aggressive.
there?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Between 3, though. You
know,
might be able to get there.
mm.
Got a couple out-of-conference games for Trey Green and Kamorian Pimpton. Kamorian Pimpton going to do it. They're both going to do at
Maybe
20 yards a game.
If they,
all 3 get to 750, maybe.
nah, see now you trying to take something that got
I'll
plus
brought-
260 odds on it.
I
Like, get
brought
outta
down.
here. I'm
I
not
brought
giving you
down.
that.
I brought the number down to 750.
I'm not giving you 3 dudes to get to 7. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay.
Something about the whole position.
Like what? No,
1,000 though.
no chance. I'm not giving you that.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because you're gonna have to have somebody. I mean, like the receivers, you expect them to step up, but you're gonna have somebody be another pass catcher.
CJ Daniels.
Yeah,
He's going to be
right?
the other pass catcher. I want to see
So-
also how they use and implement Aaron Anderson this year. Is he
Oh.
going to grow in this offense a little more? Is he going to be doing a lot of their horizontal stuff? Like, how are we going to use him this year?
Like that.
He's a weapon. I mean,
Was
the
he in
kid.
bounds there though? That's the question.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he only needs one.
But what? Did he get one?
Get it. Get it.
That's who I want to, because he's got the ability to stretch the field and really stress a defense. It's can he grow in this
Yeah.
offense? Can
And
he
here's-
pick up this offense?
And here's the deal: if he can prove that he can get off the line and stretch the defense and make them respect him going over
Well,
the top,
I don't care if it's
that's going to open.
Well,
that
here's the
up.
thing: even if it's not this way, like if you got somebody like you can
Yeah.
do it, Kyron can play down the field. CJ Daniels can play down the field. Xavier Thomas can play down the field as far as for running those routes. It doesn't matter if it's side to side and or vertical. He's got the ability to make you have to cover all 53 and a half
Yeah.
and or have to cover this way because he's that explosive. Can he pick it up and actually, progress his role in the offense is kind of what I'm wondering to see, because the physical tools of being able to do that and on the speed side it's already there.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be.
I think you'll see I know there's been a lot of hype around him just because of how the situation transpired between him being a Louisiana kid, how electric he was at Dakar, picking Alabama, not really playing there, then not really playing at LSU last year. I think he's finally fully healthy, and the way that they have that offense set up with the amount of weapons they have, that's just one more thing you have to worry about.
It is, and that's why. And that's the reason why I posed the question, because it is a lot of times when you have, when you have so many weapons, it kind of, we had this conversation a lot on the baseball side of it. Whereas if I try so hard to spread the ball out to so many dudes and get so many people into it, so many people still don't know their roles
Right.
and what they're being asked to do. So my question is I know we got the guys, but is he going to step up into a role that sees him get sizable time on the field and allows him to play a lot in the offense? Or is that going to be Xavier Thomas? Or is that going to be CJ Daniels instead? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I want to know, like, can he bump himself into that rotation to where he's seeing a good amount of time to be able to be effective in those situations?
And that's what you have to put a lot, because it does feel like you have Kyron Lacey, who knows probably every position in the playbook.
Yep.
And that's where you're going to have to rely on those guys, like you said, learning all the positions, because you've harped on it a ton where when you were young or whenever you played football, and you're like, if you don't know every position, you're not getting out there, because you don't just get to go play one spot and then you're solidified there. It takes everybody to know X, Y, Z, whatever that they put you in, so they can trust you to run whatever route. And I think that's where LSU will have probably its biggest, I don't want to say like biggest question mark, but something that you'll know very early on.
And with Kyron too, like, here's my one question when it comes with Kyron too. Like, we still don't know this when it comes to him. What we do know is he was able to be productive and fit into an offense with 2 other first rounders. But does he have the top end ability to be that quote unquote focal point guy, to be that guy that they move around and put in one-on-one matchups, and to be that guy that wins those matchups over and over and over again? Because that is what becoming, like, not even necessarily just your number one, but now we don't necessarily need to pair you on 2-on-2 sides,
Right.
or hide you on as a Z receiver with the strong side. We can move you because we know you can win in pretty much all these situations. If he can do that, I do think that's going to be really good for this offense, because I would expect him to know the offense better than anybody else out there.
Yeah, you need a guy like that's going to go out there like Malik did, where, hey, you knew the ball was coming to me on third down, and I was going to be open, and I was going to make even if I wasn't completely open, I was going to make the play. He looks good. So
It was a
here's
nasty
my,
route.
Huh?
That was a nasty route.
Yeah, and here's my thing about him. Like, when you watched him last year. And I don't know if it's because I don't know why, but if you watched him last year, he looked like he was like bulkier, bigger wide receiver. You look at him right there, he looks like he's, I'm not saying skinny because he's not skinny, but like one of those receivers that's like wiry, strong, not like the Anquan Bolden type guy, but more of like the normal prototypical receiver. And I don't know if that was just the way I saw it, but
and when I look at stuff like that too, like that's great. Like don't get me wrong, the physical ability to just be able to do that, but I think people downplay what goes into being able. So like that route right there is somewhat of a choice route right there. Malik was able to do that a lot last year. He was able to be the motion guy. We were able to identify what defenses were doing. He's able to have the choice routes and run the routes like this. That takes a lot of on the spot knowing what you're going to do at full speed. That's not just, if you ask me, like that's the route or the progression of what we're going to do is going to start at one here. Can you win in those spots? One, which means can you play super fast in those spots? And that's where I'm wondering, I want to see if he can do that because he wasn't asked to do that last year. He was asked to be that 3. He wasn't asked to be that 1, the guy that they're moving around, the guy that they're scheming up this play around. That's where it becomes a different thing if he's able to do that this year.
Without a doubt. And Nuss, Nuss has been quiet.
Which
is that a word?
Dude, there's just been so much competition out of this camp. Like there's so much back and forth.
There's other
on each
storylines
side.
other than Nuss, which I think is a good thing.
Which I think is great.
You don't need to talk to him. You don't need to talk about Nuss too much. Everybody knows what he is. Everybody knows what he can be, and so I like that. I think that's a good thing. Not having a lot of conversation about that and letting the conversation be on the other position groups and other competition that they have.
Yeah, it feels like he doesn't have any competition, right? Like he's earned the right to be able to be quarterback.
Now, what's the
1.
competition for the number 2? Obviously, you have Swan.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Swanson.
Slippy, slappy.
Samsonite.
It's on the briefcase.
Damn, it's on the briefcase. I should have known that.
She's unlisted. It's hot.
But Swan is
what
coming
the hell
in.
movie was that?
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Swan is coming in as the backup. Obviously, the veteran guy transferred in for Vandy. I wouldn't be so sure if you didn't see later on in the year, Colin Hurley jumped that.
Colin Hurley throws the best ball out of those 3.
Yeah.
But I think Ricky is probably going to be your... I said this earlier today. Somebody in the chat was asking how they've looked in camp, and it has been a back-and-forth affair, but I feel like A.J. Swan has done enough to where if
he's a veteran,
it becomes a middle-of-the-game scenario where Nuss has to come out for a play or two. It's going to be Swan. If it's to get prepared for a game week, I think you'll see Ricky at some point in that game.
Yeah. I will say this, too. Like, with the quarterback room that they have now, it's not that they don't have talent there, but because of the inexperience and – the inexperience in this offense, if there is ever a year that you don't want to have to get to playing the 2, it would be this year.
Yes.
Right? Especially in a year where you're thinking like, man, this thing's expanded to 10 teams. I mean, to 12 teams. The chance of getting to just 10 wins is the chance of us getting into a playoff situation. You would like to not have to lose a starting quarterback at all this year because of what's behind it.
Right. No doubt.
I think that's probably what you'll see. Well,
then you see like there's been some report like the drive
for 5.
The drive that Ricky Collins hasn't had a lot of like positive.
The one he put together today, Jay highlighted.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Incomplete interception.
Sack.
Not great.
No, get the ball back though.
Not great.
No, but with the Nussmeier situation, I know people are going to harp on his ability to run. I think you'll see the reason he's not is because he's too valuable to use outside of the pocket. You can't put him in those situations.
Rephrase that, because he is going to get outside the pocket throwing.
Yeah, I'm talking about tucking
not
it.
Running.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be designed runs for him. And there will be some, but I think that's probably going to be the back of a play caller's mind. Like, I'm not putting him in harm's way. Like, I know he's going to expand the pocket, throw across his body, do all the things that makes Nussmeier great. But don't.
That's an interesting point you're bringing up right there because I just don't know, as a play caller, how much of trying to, I guess,
too much going on.
Keep him in a box that you can do and still be, pretty successful. Like you're gonna have to learn how to let him play and let him do his thing and play his game. It's just really hard to say well, we don't want you to get here because we don't want you to lose. We don't want to lose you if that's something that's a strength
Right.
in his game.
Right.
I don't really think that there's much of that you can do. And I would think too, just my guess at this point with Joe Sloan, that he's grown so much of a rapport with him and they know each other so well that he also has a strong trust with him for what he can and can't do as well.
Yeah.
So I would think that there's not much going to be, or there isn't going to be much of, let's draw this up to make sure we keep him healthy. It's, hey, can you do this? All right, you can. Let's roll with it then.
Again, we're not going to really know too much about this until probably about another week and a half, another 10 days. Like once the first football games start, then you're really going to start seeing what's going to shape out, what's the offense really going to start looking like. They're not going to report too much on that because media can't see the whole thing. What, you're about to say something, Lloyd?
I just think that the other interesting point that hadn't been talked about, which would have been talked about a ton in previous LSU seasons, is you lose the offensive coordinator in Mike Denbrock of the number one offense in the country. That doesn't since I would say before 2019, that would be a huge talking point. And you slot in what would be a rookie offensive coordinator, and nobody's made a whisper about it.
I think the whispering went away when you saw what happened in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of talk, and there should have been a lot of talk because you were just like, I don't know how this is going to work out.
Yeah.
He's never really done this here at this level, blah, blah, blah. And then they play the way they play there, and it's like, okay, we can chill out with
And
that
you can make anybody can say, oh, it was Wisconsin, it was this, it was that. Well, Wisconsin's always going to have a good defense.
Yeah.
Right? They're always going to play good defensively. They may not have it offensively, but if you're able to do that and be as effective and as efficient, that is a positive what?
I had it offensively against LSU last year.
Yeah. Well, everybody did. I don't think there was one game that you looked up and you was like, damn. Even
'em
Grambling
down.
State all had it offensively against us.
That was a contest for a second.
for the first quarter and a half.
You're down. Your
Wild.
defense was so bad, Missouri
Wild.
went for 2 on the opening drive. You're like, they ain't stopping anything.
Yeah,
8-0.
wild. And then got a turnover that game. It was a big one. It was a big one.
He's been forcing a lot of chaos.
I knew. I
Mr.
felt like he
Perkins.
was gonna. I felt like he was gonna be. I feel like the linebackers are gonna be special.
Salty.
Yeah, I really do. Do we have any questions?
We do. We have a ton of questions.
Hey,
And
look at that!
they
Thanks
asked
for the
Mikey and Mitch.
participation.
Fonz Farrelly always comes through for us whenever we need him most.
By the way, before we get into that, me and Allie on Sunday were walking in our neighborhood.
I saw that.
With Fonz Farrelly?
No, not with Fonz. Sorry, Fonz.
Fonz the Butcher.
But one of my neighbors, who was a former quarterback at McNeese, was throwing the football with his son, and so we started talking to him.
You just wanted the
And-
ball.
No, I was just talking to him, and so he give me like little pump fake. Like, you want it? I was like, oh yeah. I think I still got it. Give it to me. I was like, you think you can like throw it? And I was like, yeah. And I hadn't thrown it. And I wasn't really sure. Coach,
How far are we talking?
like 40 yards.
Y'all were
Tight
talking that
spiral.
far away?
No, his son was running out in the
Oh,
field.
okay,
You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Did he-
someone's still out there.
Oh, you
Did
get
he
to
catch
go
it?
long, kid.
Caught it. Unstride. Felt good about it. I was like, woof. 3 of them. I was like, damn. Ball came out nice and crispy. You know, first time sometimes you throw, you're like, I don't know.
No.
Came out nice and crispy. Felt
Ancient
good about it.
athletes, get
Felt
ready.
good about receiver, coach.
We'll see how that goes if they start 0-2.
I'm maybe a captain this year, so
Oh, my
I may be,
God.
I'm gonna have my first pick is gonna be a quarterback. Obviously.
Jackie Moon.
First pick's gonna
I'm
obviously
putting
gonna be
myself in the
quarterback.
game.
Goodness gracious.
I did not. I was asked to be a captain. Okay,
Voted amongst by your peers.
that's right. All right, what we got?
I can't believe you haven't recruited Jared yet.
You ain't gonna do that.
My ass ain't going out there.
Strap it up one last time.
No chance.
All right, Ask Mikey and Mitch. Brought to you by whoever wants to sponsor it. It's wide open.
Brought to you by our friends at Land Rover Peretti.
Sure.
There you go.
Just like this glorious ticker.
That's it.
These are all over the place. This is stream of consciousness. From
I
all
love that.
Fonz.
I
Yeah.
love that.
First one up. Ask Mikey and Mitch. What was your favorite route to run?
Favorite route to run? Man, I like a deep dig, man. I'm a big fan of a deep dig.
That was my
I like
favorite route
that.
to throw.
Stem that bitch a little bit, get up and step, you get up, get your own. Oh, yeah, I like that. a
That
lot.
was my favorite route to
Make
throw.
a fire?
I like an option route, too. I hated a comeback route. Ooh, wee.
See, that was I like to throw I like throwing comeback routes.
Fuck that, dude.
I
I hated comeback routes. Comeback routes is the ones where you like, hey, dog, my feet feel terrible, dog. Don't make me do that.
I like the
I bet
dig
you
routes.
Marcus was nice and easy on
No,
those.
dog. It's not about the hands, bro. It's literally
Yeah.
comeback routes is get to top speed. I need you to come out of a cut
Yeah.
in 3 steps.
Yeah.
Do you know what that feels like in cleats?
Hurts.
Not great,
Yeah,
cuz.
hurts.
Blood socks.
Not great.
I like throwing a like a dig route or like a post over the middle. Like that was my favorite ones to throw. I didn't play much receiver in high school. I didn't play any in college. But my route shoe is very limited. It was, hey, go down and go up there and get it, or hey, act like you're gonna go back, stay behind the line of scrimmage, catch it, and run. that was or a big skinny post. That was basically the route tree. I wasn't running a bunch of routes.
You're on the Aaron Anderson plan.
Had a couple touchdowns though, receiving touchdowns. But that was it. My favorite one to throw were the digs and the posts.
Like a nice dig route.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
There we go.
I like a good corner route too.
Like a nice
I like
over route,
to throw
you know.
A nice corner.
Something where I could get some yak after that.
Yeah,
thing.
get it
let
to
me
me
get,
easy,
let me
go.
let me get loose on him a little bit here.
Oh, yeah. Ask him, what was more important to you? 40-yard dash time or your 90 feet time? Would that be, your 60? Obviously, you timed to first. I don't know if they did that.
60 would be, well, I guess.
That's close to not.
What was more important? I guess if you're looking at, hey, how am I going to keep progressing in this sport? The one that they cared the most about, obviously, would be the 40. So, you're like, all right, I want to make sure my 40's right. But at the end of the day, I knew I was fast. I didn't really care.
Yeah,
I was like, me. I'm a ball.
Ask him. What was your favorite MLB perk you can remember? Or
MLB what?
MLB perk.
I mean, our flights were awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, flights in the hotels were pretty fire. I mean, you got whatever you wanted on the flights. You had food, you had dinners and stuff, and then hotels, you're staying at the best hotels in the country. So those perks are great. Yeah, I mean, that was probably the best one.
I'll go with something a little more simple just because it took some of the bullshit off your hands. I love the fact of not having to pack bags on trips before or after trips.
Yeah.
Your bags were packed for you. Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
You would be done and all your baseball stuff, like all your stuff that was in the locker was in the bag.
Yeah.
Ready to go. I was like,
so all you basically had to put together was like whatever little things you were taking, but all the baseball stuff, uniform, cleats, all that stuff that was either going on the road or going back home, that would be packed for you. I'm a big fan of that.
The amount of sweat.
Fan of that.
Yeah, dude, the amount of sweat I gathered in high school on a road trip. Like, did I fucking forget my glove?
They got that.
And it's like, I'm going to have to borrow somebody's today.
Well, there's certain things you got to pack. Like
you had to pack your glove. You maybe packed some batting gloves or whatever, but like the big stuff, I say the big stuff. Like I would say 65 to 70% of your stuff was packed. You were just bringing probably what you wore in that game, which was probably dirty. Actually, you probably didn't have to bring that either because that would probably go in the team's laundry bag.
Right.
Just there wasn't much.
Yeah.
It was good.
We had a guy in high school that thought we were playing an away game. We were playing a home game. He drove all the way to Bunkie for the baseball games. Like, cuz we're at home. We about to get going. And he's like, I'm in Bunkie. Like, well, we'll see you after the game.
That's embarrassing.
Shout out Sean Kelly.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You and Sean must have hung out a lot.
No, he was the guy that you're like, please only be like that when I get older.
Lloyd and Sean hung out a lot. I can tell.
No,
Boy, that's tough.
the turtle.
All right.
Tortuga.
What we got?
Ask him. Did you ever have an injury during a practice that you knew wasn't bad enough to have to go to the training room, but enough to give you a break from that practice, Michael?
Why are you looking at me?
And I believe there was a story where you wanted to watch something on television.
Yeah, but that wasn't a practice.
It was a game.
It's even worse. It was a game.
So there was
Big practice guy. I can't miss that.
There was my first year out of baseball. Out of college, and I was playing in the Arizona Fall League. I was playing well, and there was a All-Star game that was the same weekend as the first game of the century, 2011 LSU Alabama 1-2 at Alabama, whole deal, and I was already dealing with like, damn, I'm kind of like hamstrings a little tight, but like nothing to where like you probably, and so I milked that a little bit and said, it's a little tight.
How many days?
No, it wasn't. I only had to miss just the All-Star game. It was the weekend because the All-Star game was that weekend, so I didn't have any games. We didn't have any games that weekend. So after the Friday game, Saturday, Sunday off because we're always off on Sunday there, and then back at it on Monday.
So you missed the All-Star game.
Missed the All-Star game.
I think that's fair. That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't miss a regular season game.
Would you?
No.
I really can't recall any games like I miss or practice or games even that I missed with like a fake injury to do anything. But what I will tell you is let me paint this thing out for you. So you go through a baseball season where it's February, March, beginning of April, like very beginning of April sometimes, depending on the year, you're in camp. Then you go through the season, you go through the All-Star break, and you get to August, right? And now everyone starts talking about football. For a lot of people who love football, Mikey can attest to this. But what happens is once football season starts and you and or guys that are not in the lineup or the guys that are or relievers that are not pitching that day, Sunday comes and football starts, it is I'm out watching the team for 1, 2, 3 outs. And then when the outs are done and everybody comes back in because we're hitting, everybody is in the clubhouse watching football, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And they're watching the game and what's going on in the game on the TV that's inside, and they're back out for the game.
I will say
and the person that's probably sitting that day is like, hey, dog, you let me know if y'all need me. I'm in here with cleats on today.
I will say this. That's the best.
Knobs
That's
on that
like
seat.
in the minor leagues, that's the best perk you have as a veteran guy in minor league baseball. Right? If your manager likes you and understands the situation, you will get an opportunity. Hey, if you're a vet and you don't really have much going on right now at the time because you're playing really well, that first day of your team, he may get the day off, right? Because usually it's on a weekend and maybe a day game, whatever it is. Doug Minkiewicz. Shout out to Dougie Fresh. Dougie took care of me. I was in Toledo. I just got taken off the roster in 19. And I was a little salty, but I was playing well. And I had just hit my 20th home run of the year, right, the day before. And he's a big Florida State guy. I was a big LSU guy. He's a huge college football fan. And so he's like, the next day I come in, I'm not in the lineup. And I get there early, I was working out, and he walks in, he goes, Took, you're welcome. Don't act like I've never done anything for you. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, college football today. So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. So, like, we're going to do the whole deal, BP, doing whatever, not hitting BP, off. And so we go back in, game starts, I go out for the anthem, come back in, kickoff happens. I'm trying to be the good teammate, right? Hey, I'm going to watch it when we're on defense. I'm going to come back in on offense. I come back in. Doug comes in from the Doug is on the top. He's going back out, right? Or he's coming back in. No, going back out for the coach third base. He looks at me and goes, what the fuck are you doing in here?
In the dugout. Like, what are you doing in the dugout?
What are you doing in the dugout? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm watching. He goes, if I wanted you out here, I'd have started you. Go in the game. The only reason I have you not playing is so you can watch the fucking game. So go watch the football game and just give me score updates.
Gotcha.
All right, coach.
Yeah, Skip. I'm in there. Next thing I know, hey, cleats off. And sure enough, it's a tight game. And I walk back out and poke my head out. He goes, I'm like, yes, that means he's not putting me in. Let's go. And we go sit down.
Yeah, I will tell you that happens.
Yeah, we end up winning. He goes, hey, you're welcome. I was like, yeah.
I will tell you that. That's
awesome.
a real thing. That happens.
That was awesome. Yeah, next one. That was 19. That was the greatest year.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Gotta watch it.
It was awesome. Gotta watch it.
Ask him. What felt better, opening day first pitch or end of season last out?
Opening day first pitch.
Opening day first pitch.
By far.
Yeah.
By far. Because the only way the end of the season last out usually ends happy is if you're winning a World Series.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much any and every other situation. It's not even if, like, say if you were in the minor leagues and you had an absolute great year, you're probably salty you're either not at the next level or not in the big league. So, like, last out, you're like, this is bullshit. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Ready to go home.
Or whatever, man. Get me out of here. But, like, you're not, like legit happy about it.
In 2009,
opening day is the best. Yeah,
that probably changed. It was like, oh, first pitch is great.
That's what I'm saying.
Last
Like,
out, yeah.
There's only one team every year that's happy on the last out of the season. That's like legit happy.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Legitimate question here that might lead to a longer discussion.
Perfect. I like that. That's what we're looking for.
Ask him from Carl the Cat. For 2008 Olympic Games, should MLB shut down the season for 2 weeks so that the pros can play? I've read it.
2028.
28, yeah.
Oh, they said 2008.
I might have.
2028. Should they shut down? No.
No.
I think
they can't do that.
I heard on the radio
that would be awesome.
That they might shut down the year like they did in hockey.
That's why they have the World Baseball Classic.
Shut down the year?
Like
that's not gonna happen.
Suspend play.
It's not gonna happen. That's why they have the World Baseball Classic because that is what it is. It's not going to happen. What they're going to do and probably going to have to do is they're going to have to grab minor leaguers and guys that are not on the 40-man. So you're going to probably have some, like, young budding stars. Like, say if it was, like, last year, you may get – or this year, honestly, you may get – obviously, at this point, you would have never gotten Skeens, but you may get Dylan Cruz and guys like that on those teams, and they'll be playing for you.
And let me ask you this, though. And you may get veteran guys who are trying, like, maybe just out of the big leagues trying to make it back.
Yeah, yeah.
You may get some of those guys out there. Do you think that they're not using big league guys, right? Do you think countries like Japan and those types of countries who have these guys over there,
yeah, they're going
to let those guys play, obviously, for their country, and then if that's the case, then I think they'd have the advantage.
Yeah,
because a lot of those guys are coming over here, like obviously Shohei and those guys. If they didn't before they came over, they would just play in that kind of a showcase, and then it's gonna be a lot of minor league guys. You can't shut the season down for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because then you got to ramp it back up for another month because you got to realize like you only got like the USA roster. Well, then what happens with the other 90% of the league that's not playing? They're sitting down. You think you really good? Do you really trust said pitcher to go home and keep throwing at game intensity for a month?
Yeah.
No chance. So then you got to ramp it back up for it. Like, it's just not going to – logistically, it would never work.
Why wouldn't they just keep playing and the guys that can go?
Because what if you're missing your 3-hole hitter?
Right, and that's why it's not
going
to happen.
And now for a month, we don't –
Well, they're not going to get
– if
mad
Aaron
at
Judge
you.
leaves the Yankees for a month and they go 8-15 and then they miss the playoffs, you think they're going to be happy about that?
Well, who do you like more, America or the Yankees?
Okay, yeah, but the Yankees are paying
but the
his
Yankees
salary,
ain't in
right?
business.
Like,
They're paying the salary, bro.
And the MLBPA is going to want to get compensated for that. Like, it's just
it's just too much.
Great marketing tool.
It's great. But
also,
I don't think they're going to shut the season. They wouldn't shut the season.
I also
down.
heard if it's not Major League Baseball players, that they could take college baseball players.
No, they won't. They're going to take minor.
They're going
league
to take the minor league guys that aren't on the roster.
They're going to take high-level minor league guys.
Yeah,
say.
because it doesn't matter. The wins and losses of minor league doesn't really matter.
Right.
So like these
it's not
guys,
going to be. I can promise you, it won't be college guys.
Right. Unless they just got drafted.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like Dylan Cruz,
Yeah.
like something like that. It won't.
So like,
it won't be guys.
If the Olympics were last year, Dylan Cruz, Skeens maybe,
everybody that
Wyatt Langford,
everybody
all those
that
guys.
you saw at the Futures game, like those type of guys, they're going to be the guys that play in it. You got to think about it, bro. Like they're not going to go if you can go and get the guys that are in the Futures game. Why am I going to get the guys that are in the Cape? I'm not doing that.
Right.
Who's better at this time? The guys that are in the Futures game. That's who they're going to go get. That would be the guys doing it.
Shoots down my next theory of how it would impact LSU if they did.
What do you mean?
Well, it wouldn't because it's in July. How would that impact LSU?
I don't know, just having guys that would be on your roster now they're playing for Team USA. I don't know. This is what Hannegriff threw out today.
Oh yeah.
What? Say again.
He was saying how it would impact LSU in the future if they had their guys going to play.
It won't happen.
Like college guys?
Yeah.
I don't think it would impact LSU though.
That's what I was saying. Like it'd
just be like LSU. Their guys are going to play summer ball.
That's exactly what it would
Yeah.
be. I mean, those guys like last year, Paul and all. I say last year. I mean every year. There's a Team USA team that they play every year.
I mean, that's what I did in college.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Which is crazy because you know how Facebook gives you memories. Man, my Facebook game sucked back then. It was like you could do like statuses, and I was letting everybody know I was coming back in town. Flight leaves at whatever. I was given the exact time and destination. But we weren't flying
I
back
wonder
in.
who that was for.
This was August 9th of 2010. And it's like we're coming back, but like that would be the time frame.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's when my season ended that year. And that's playing we're coming back from Tokyo.
Right.
That would be the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Only, like I said, at that point, who do you think is going to get – they're just going to use minor league guys.
Yeah. And America will lose baseball on U.S. soil, foiled by Japan once again.
I mean, that's about the only team that's got a chance to beat them because you got to think about it. Every other country that has
big leaguers,
pretty much their best players, except for – I mean, like the countries that play winter ball do have summer leagues, but usually the majority of those guys are either in affiliated ball and or in big league ball, and they're still here. So it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Trevor Bauer, Team USA.
Yeah, right.
Boy. What is it?
Robinson Cano.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? You're going to have countries.
Yasiel Puig.
Well, he's Cuba.
I know.
You're going to have countries participate that don't normally participate in the Olympics or don't really have participate because now they have
a sport.
They have a sport that they can go and participate. Cricket's going to be in 2028 Olympics, which is great.
We got a squad.
I think there is. They upset the
Pakistan.
India.
We got
Pakistan.
We got 4 years to get one cooking. If we don't, it's all good.
Hey, there's a batting cage in Dallas. I saw it. I was like, you know how you could go you have a normal
wicket
batting cage,
cricket cage.
They have a cricket cage. Seriously,
well, that's a
you
tongue
didn't do
twister.
it.
I was like, no, guys are. Well, I saw these guys doing it, and like you could tell that they've played it before. Like
he wasn't
they're
trying to
from
get. He wasn't
novelty.
trying to mix in that number.
they're part of like they grew up playing that sport, and I watch these guys, and they are hitting missiles, and I'm like, wow, I'm not doing that. I had swung a bat in 3 years. I'm swing and miss, no doubt.
It's like
crazy.
going to a range at a pro-am. Where you're like,
Yeah.
these guys are really good at golf. This is a hobby.
You know what you're doing. It's like if I was hitting BP batting practice in a cage with like a normal bat, and these guys have never swung this way, and they always swing that way with the paddle.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, this kind of dovetails into that. Oh, yeah, I'll do this one first. Did you ever think about? Oh no, yeah. Did you ever think about playing baseball in another country like Japan or Mexico?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
I didn't get the opportunity to do it,
Yes.
which I think is a regret of mine. I think I should have pursued that earlier or harder in Japan, but I didn't.
Yeah, I almost played. Well, a couple times I almost played winter ball in Mexico, and I probably same thing. I probably should have pursued it harder. But yeah, that was probably the time I would have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have. Korea and Japan are like Japan. It's Major League Baseball, Japan, and then Korea. Now you get paid good money in Korea. Like there's guys that have gone to Korea that have come back and play and had really good careers. Guys have gone to Japan, come back and had really good careers in the big leagues. If I could do it all over again, I would have pursued that harder for sure to go try at least play 1 year out there, get that experience, and then come back.
A lot of sushi.
That is what happens in Japan. They have a lot of. I mean, I was in Japan for that 2 weeks, and I wish I could go back and like experience it differently. What?
Fresh fish.
Nothing. Nothing.
Ask him and him. What's something Madera used to do that pissed y'all off? This is the Paul question when I was talking about.
You want to go first?
What is something he used to do that would piss us off? Ooh.
It's the safe spaces at South Carolina now. You can say anything.
I just talked to him a couple of days ago. I'm wearing him out.
How's he doing?
Huh?
How's he doing?
He's good. Said it's different, but he's working.
Yeah.
Working through it.
He's grinding.
He's back in the game.
That's
You
it.
know,
He's
got
happy.
a chance to do it again.
Got a
Yeah.
Zoom working?
Yeah, he's mad that we don't have him back on, but it's football season now, coach.
I think as a team, we all used to. It is what it is, and we kind of got used to it. But he was so into getting on everybody. If you were like just not into it, and at some point, everybody was just like, "Man, I'm not trying to hear nothing this dude got to say right now. If it's not right." So everybody's just like, "I don't give a shit." So it wasn't like a specific thing, but it was like if it wasn't good, he was on you, and at some point. It was you had to kind of get over understanding that hey, like if it's not good, you're gonna hear about it. So just kind of get used to it. I think it was kind of something like that.
The thing I hated the most about him, not about him, about what he would do, is the hypothetical situations. So like, he would make us take hypothetical
I hope no South
bats.
Carolina players ever listen to this episode ever.
I know, because this is gonna happen. So there may be situations in the season where like, hey, we're going through a stretch of not being able to drive guys in with runners in scoring position or popping things up too much. He would have the defense out there and he'd have guys hitting and he would be pitching on the mound as a batting practice, but he would try to get you out. So he was throwing fastballs and sliders and all this crazy stuff that like
From 40 feet.
From 40 feet away, it's like, all right, this makes no sense. All you're gonna do is make me pop it up even more because this is just
It's
not
unrealistic.
Or hey, you're doing base running stuff and there's no outfielder or ball. So you have to go and hypothetically anticipate when the guy is picking it up and not picking it up. So when you have to peak. And so me and him have gotten into a couple
Kerfuffle.
disagreements about the timing of when the outfielder actually picked up the phantom outfielder actually picked up the phantom ball and if I peaked or not.
The ghost runner in front of me didn't go.
I will
Coach.
give you one thing. One thing I did, I guess if I can go to one thing. Now, I'm okay with this from Monday to Thursday when you're practicing in this BP. But even on game day, and this is never a thing when you get to pro ball, but he was all about like, hey, if we're taking BP and you're taking live reps in the outfield and you're going after balls, I want you diving at balls on BP. So like you would go into the Friday night game, top of the first inning, with grass stains
Shit all over you
on your pants. You're just like, bro, well, why did I have to dive at that ball right now? Like I should have gotten that done through the week. So like
I will say that.
And like, don't get me wrong, it does make you better.
Yeah, I was about to say
playing those reps like that 100% makes you better.
Yep.
It makes you really get after it in games.
You don't have anybody diving for balls in pro ball, but it does. I mean, you're never gonna, if you can't practice, you're never gonna get good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, made Mariano Rivera way better. Ask him and him.
Juan Soto, by the way, 4 home runs in 2 nights. Hit another one today. Hit 3 yesterday.
Best teammate you played with at LSU.
Best. What do you mean, like best teammate?
That's what the question is.
You're my teammate. You're my co-host.
Here we go. Mikey.
Yeah. Easy.
Chad Jones, man.
Chad
was
because look, Chad had every right to be bitter in that year, and he was awesome. Awesome to have on the team.
Definitely.
Buzzy was great.
Buzzy was great. Chris McGee was great. Nick
Pontiff
was great.
Nolan was great. The guys that the good teammates are the guys that you don't really hear much about.
Big time glue guys, man.
Yep, no doubt.
Ask him and him. Who's the biggest prankster in the LSU dugout?
In the dugout. I'd probably say Buzzy Highdale. Buzzy was a big prankster. Buzzy was all about the jokes and all about, Buzzy was there to have a good time if his name was not written up in that lineup. So he wasn't missing a good time. So probably Buzzy.
Pranksters, yeah, Buzzy. And then after that, probably like Dozar.
Yeah.
Those guys kind of learned from him. Bo.
Yeah.
Bozar. They would call Bo and Dozar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure that came out of nothing but love.
Yeah.
Fucking Bozar over here. What?
Yeah.
They did have a worse teammate. That's up to you to answer.
In college?
Yeah.
The worst teammate, I'll give you a worst teammate, and he knows this about himself if he ever hears it. Great player, unbelievable hitter, like a professional hitter, but Matt Clark knows he was always the worst. He was the most bitter dude every single day, but you knew it was never in bad intentions. That's just how he was, and it was the funniest shit ever because he was never in a great mood, but he was always productive, bro. That's just how he was, and it's just how he is as a person. He's super stoic sometimes, and he's super snarky about stuff that goes on. So it's if you didn't know him,
he's an asshole.
Yeah, you're who's this asshole? But once you get to know him, you're bro, that's just him, bro. Just how he is. It is what it is.
The Eeyore.
I don't really have. I have a couple guys, but that's just.
They know.
They're not listening to our show. I can promise you that.
No. Had enough of you.
Or had enough of them.
You're on a long road trip in Hungary. When you get off, there's a Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King. Where are you stopping?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a mood
I'm
thing.
going to Wendy's all day, baby.
Yep.
Wendy's all day.
I think Wendy's is the
Smack
move.
me with a spicy chicken sandwich, maybe some fries, probably some fries. Probably some fries.
I like their
I
nuggets.
probably hit 2 of the spicy chicken sandwiches.
Extra mayonnaise.
Whole of fries, whole of mayo. I'm on
So
that all day, baby.
Burger King,
all day.
McDonald's, Wendy's, and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And
There's
McDonald's.
And what?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
I went through phases in life, though.
It's gonna be Wendy's and Taco Bell for me.
Wendy's is Wendy's is at the top of that.
No doubt.
All right. I believe that
That's
wraps
it.
up.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the look. No football questions. That's why.
Oh, real quick. Last entry here. Sports Geek 91. Dirtiest locker.
On the team.
Tyler Hanover.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good one. Woo-wee. Yeah, that was pretty. That was probably
I think they even did a special on
They
him.
did.
That's
It was before everything was the social media stuff was real big.
Yeah.
God, we missed that boat.
See, college was too. That was a time where you kind of figured out where it's I didn't say figured out. It was beaten into you, if you will. It was hey, bro, you can have that locker can be as dirty as you want the locker, but there better not be a single thing spilling out or into someone else's locker, or it was your ass.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was.
And,
So it's
look, it can be messy.
Yeah.
Just don't make have the dirty clothes in
it
there.
can't. It can't be
stink.
on the ground. It can't stink, and it can't be in everybody else's locker.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
All right. Last one. Bobby Boucher's lawnmower. This is totally on you. Ask
What?
Mikey and Mitch. What's y'all thought on the new seating at the box?
What's what?
What's your thoughts on the new seating at the box?
I love it. I love to take. Here's what I want. I wanted them to take away the what do we call it? The foul territory. Move it in a little bit. Make it a little closer. I'm fine with it, man. I don't really think there was need to make it like a ton more seats. I just needed it to be less green grass, if you will, on the field and kind of close this thing in a little bit more.
I agree.
When it comes to that seating, if you will. I think there's more stuff they can do, but that's what I think about that seating.
I agree. I'm on board with it. I mean, look, the changes and stuff are going to happen in phases and, take some time. But, yeah, that's it.
This is what the new seating arrangement is going to look like in terms of 3D imaging. I still don't get this. Is this glass?
No, it's not glass.
What is
That's
it?
not
Is that
glass,
just
that's
the net?
How
that's the
on earth
net.
will you keep that clean, Meek?
That's what I had questioned.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So this
I mean,
like premium seating, but you're hot.
That's going to
I'm about to say, I would imagine them seats going to be hot as hell.
and that's going to give them it's a different fan experience.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. You're gonna be right there in the bullpen, basically.
Why would that's throw a cover on that thing and charge an extra whatever?
Yeah, and they may end up adding that. Who
Like a
knows?
dugout for the dugout, like
Yeah.
the clubhouse.
Yeah, right. For the clubbies.
For the clubbies.
Um,
Have a little tunnel. You can go into the fan experience. You can win it.
see how hard you can throw?
Win a game. Yeah, you get to win a ticket to a game where you get to sit in the dugout for one inning.
Look, promo guy.
Yep.
That's you.
Big promo guy.
I appreciate y'all for all the questions of Ask Mikey and Mitch on this beautiful Wednesday night. All right, last thing I want to talk about before we get to the segments, right? They came out with the preseason All-American team.
ESPN preseason All-American.
Which
They
is
really
whole
know.
weight.
Yeah.
Whole
They
weight,
know
you
ball.
LSU's got 2 first-team selections.
I'll give you 2 guesses.
I'll give you 2 guesses on who you think they are. You already know them. So nobody's guessing because
So
everybody knows them.
why would you ask me to guess?
Will
It's-
Campbell, obviously, left tackle. First-team All-American.
Anthony Jennings.
Emory Jones, second team. And then Harold Perkins, first team All-American and linebacker spot.
Good to see Emory Jones getting some love after there was a bunch of All-American preseason, like preseason lists that came out where he wasn't listed on any first team
Right,
anything. So it's about time people saw the light.
Some notable names: Carson Beck is first team quarterback. Dylan Gabriel,
Sneaky.
second team. I don't know.
I want to see it, man.
Me too.
I just
want
wanna
to see it too. I don't
They-
know if I'm
a
sold
lot
on
of
Dylan
people have been
Gabriel.
like, I heard some people talking about him today, saying that he's traveled well, and his biggest game or him going in and beating Texas at that time. Like, don't get me wrong, Texas was good last year, but like, I don't know. I just got to see it, man. Like, I'm not sold on what he's done so far. And I'm not saying that he's bad either. Like, let's make sure that's understood. I just want to see it being, consistent and doing it again, and elevating the team to a different spot too.
Yep.
It does feel like it's more of it's an assignment for fit, where it feels like you
Right.
can see him at Oregon doing what Bo Nix did last year.
Right.
Offense seems to suit him.
But they are going into a different conference too,
Yeah.
so we'll play a different type of competition. It'll be interesting.
Quinshawn Judkins, second team. Obviously he's at Ohio State now.
Yeah.
Luther Burden, Missouri, first team receiver.
Ollie Gordon was first team
Running back.
running back.
They have 2 first team running backs. Ollie Gordon the second and Omarion Hampton. Quinshawn Judkins second team.
Yes.
And Taj Brooks second team. And then
Ollie Gordon's gonna get a lot of carries that week
it's
one.
crazy that they don't have Mason Taylor as first team tight end, but once he gets to 1,000 yards, he's gonna be postseason.
Root of the day.
Postseason All-American.
LSU tight ends, because they all had 1,000 yards together.
Yeah,
They're going to be the
that's
first.
it. That's it. The collection. Alabama's got 2 offensive linemen on there. Their center, who transferred in from Washington, undersized center, but
That's
apparently
the one spot
really
you can't be
good.
undersized at anyway
Exactly.
when it comes to the O-line.
Look at Jason Kelsey. He was undersized for a center when he came out.
You need a nice, smart, agile.
Athletic.
If I can get a center that can get out and pull and do stuff, then it's kind of like a cheat code, man.
Right.
You're getting to do stuff that other teams can't do. And then also you pretty much always win the leverage game, and being able to be the low man wins right there too. So it's got some perks to it.
Tennessee's defensive end James Pierce, first team. The one that's going to affect LSU quickest.
Yeah, it's not a shocker that Alabama got rid of old Seth McLaughlin after last year's fiasco at center.
Yeah.
Big propensity to roll it back. Good strategy. Hasn't really
Didn't work
seen it
out.
a lot,
Didn't
but
work out.
I appreciate
Yeah,
him thinking outside the box.
Yeah, so hide the handoff, kind of makes you get real
It's like
down.
a play action snap.
Yeah, right. But a guy that a guy on this All-American team that we're gonna see earliest in the season is USC returner Zachariah Branch, which, if you haven't seen him play, maybe the most explosive player in college football.
Kid's electric, man.
And with the question marks that we have so far at the
Stamp him.
special teams
Oh.
situation, I know you didn't even think about that, and now
I'm more so worried about it in our defensive backfield.
that too.
Realistically, that's where, obviously he's a receiver, so that you would think about that. But
Yeah.
out the gate, in a spot or an area of the team that was a huge question last year, that's not exactly the one you draw up you want to see out the gate. So that's where I want to see where they've come, because you get to face one of the premier guys in the country out the gate next year. So.
Yeah.
That'll be a tough assignment for whoever draws that number.
And I want I think we talked about this last show where we were saying, I don't know if I got to make this point too, but when we were saying if LSU were to win the first game, who shines? And I was saying kind of I don't expect you to shut that down. Well, he's one of the biggest reasons why. You got him, you got Lincoln Riley, who's always put out good offenses. I don't think that defense would have to go out there and be basically a shutdown defense against a guy like that and a guy who's known to always have good offenses for us to go out and beat them. So if we go out and beat them in game one, your offense has really got to show up.
Right.
I think that was one of the reasons why I was saying that too.
And on the special teams note, Brian Kelly came out and said, don't be surprised if we use both punters, Oceandorf and Todd.
At the same time?
That would be a Les Miles special. Give them the same number.
Same time. You don't know who's going to get the snap.
It's like a returner.
Are they both right-footed punters?
I believe so.
It'd be great if one was right, one was left. You wouldn't know
Directional
who's gonna get
each way.
You wouldn't know who's going to get it.
Until they caught the snap.
Yeah, that would not be good.
But he said there's been no consistency at the position, so it could be both at this point. And if you're trotting out two punters,
You don't got
believe
one.
the old adage, you ain't got none.
Yeah. Tough. We'll see. Hopefully someone emerges. Maybe they're gamers. Maybe when it comes when the lights
Nut
come
cutting
on,
time.
when the lights come on, you need it, and you got the adrenaline. Maybe you end up turning into a
Ray
punter who's
guy.
gonna average 65 yards a punt. Who knows? Hopefully that's the case, and hopefully you can kick it and directionally kick it away from Zachariah Branch, because you're gonna have a guy who touches the ball and could end up in the end zone every single play.
Yeah, you should probably not give him the rock with the.
They might be going for it a lot on fourth down in this first game. Just got a little
At least you
feeling.
got a kicker who's gonna make field goals.
Well, Danny Ramos, football's life,
Football's life.
missed a 53-yard field goal yesterday.
That's okay. 53 yarders.
No, yeah.
It's it's not like it's.
But I'm saying,
Speaking of missing 50-yard field goals, Blake Groupie for the Saints did not have a great day yesterday. He missed 4 out of 10.
well, he's got the Irish, the
But
luck
he's
of the
also
Irish behind him.
3 of the 4 were deep, 57-yarders,
Two kickers.
and windy. So tough conditions. Not in a dome.
I don't think Groupie's long for this life after the love the Irishman got. But for LSU, I do think that you'll see an offense that goes for it more than they don't. Brian Kelly's already shown a propensity to do that.
Yeah.
But on fourth and short, where it could be middle of the field and you'd think about punting it, I bet they go for it. And if it's other side of the 50 and a longer field goal, I bet they go for it. You got to it feels like Ramos is kind of a 45-yard end guy.
Yeah, for sure. Which I'm
Cole
okay
Tracy
with.
special.
I'm okay with it.
I also do think the idea of going for it on fourth downs and stuff like that is not necessarily because you may miss kicks. It is because you have a strong belief in what your offense is what they're capable of doing. So I do think whatever those decisions will be, it'll be more so not because we don't think we can make it, but it's because I believe strongly that this guy can get it done on this side, and I think that's going to be more of the belief when it comes to that situation.
True. All right. We'll get to the Seggies.
I didn't know if you want to run down the defense.
Oh, I guess we could do that. Yeah. I guess. Is there, let's see.
Harold Perkins?
Obviously, Harold Perkins is there. I'm trying to see of note. We don't play. I said James Pierce. Kentucky's defensive tackle, Deion Walker. He is there. A&M's defensive end who transferred in from Purdue, which is a crazy place for somebody like that to transfer and be that good. He's from Texas, went to Purdue, played really well there, came back. Now he's back at A&M. He's first team All-American. Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma.
Oh, Harold Perkins couldn't find him with a mat.
Harold Perkins there. Listen to me. Caleb Downs, safety at Ohio State, obviously transferred from Alabama. Georgia's all over this.
Yeah, that's the big crux of this.
Georgia's all over this team. You got Malachi Starks, first team All-American. Okay? Then you got... Let's keep going. Hold on. Then you got... At defensive end, the second team All-American is Mikael Williams from Georgia. Then you have... Offensively, you have...
Guard Tate
Ratledge. You have a couple second team guys. It's just they're
Second
everywhere.
team defensive end Mikael Williams.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Safety first team Malachi Starks.
If you have two
quarterback
guys,
Carson Beck.
If you have two Carson Beck, if you have two guys on the first team All-American teams, that's good. They have like 4, and then they have 2 on the second team.
Yeah,
that's good. They're good.
but welcome to a real schedule, boys. Let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens. That's the interesting. That's gonna be the fun part about college football. Is the schedules are gonna get tougher and tougher because the conferences have gotten tougher and tougher. So we shall see. All right. Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Doe's Eat Place. Lloyd, what you got?
Our mistake of the day was rightfully teased by our one host, Mikie Mahtook, and it is a little bit of a kerfuffle. Camp gets hot, but this is taking it out just on the wrong guy when you have Cowboys defensive tackle.
Yeah, keep going. You almost got there.
Albert Huggins, not the hugging type, more of a pusher.
Not Albert Hainsworth.
No, but it looked very familiar. And here he is getting his reps in against the GAs. Let me get you some, too. Come place the ball, and then the middle finger. Fuck you. And they thought about fighting for him, but then didn't really show the man any love. Sean McVay looks a little just perturbed by the whole situation. But this man went ahead and said, all right, I'll win the rep. Are you playing quarterback? I bet you are.
Oh.
Get some. You ain't no NFLer.
And they
Fuck you.
a couple hard steps, and then
he did that on purpose. But I would imagine. I thought that would have been a fight.
Well, I'm talking about a couple hard steps from the offensive lineman.
Yeah,
coming back and then,
it's like a goose on the golf course.
Yeah. I'm gonna chase you away.
Yeah.
Tough. I don't know why he would do that. It's just picking on
the wrong guy.
Picking on people.
Check his locker.
I like a nice bully defensive lineman.
Yeah, but against a coach.
I like a nice.
That man's not even a coach. That man's bringing water.
The defensive players are always the bullies.
Hey, listen.
They're always
never got to get ready if you stay ready.
He ain't in the red jersey. Man's not in a red jersey.
You gotta be quick on your feet.
I will close out the curtain calls.
Curtain call brought to you by friends at Shirt Partners.
With mine, I have a separate one. So I'll close it out with mine.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right. Me and Jared's curtain call are together. We don't have the graphic on there, but if you were paying attention to the Olympics, you heard a bunch of former LSU players participating in the Olympics. And if you count all the medals that LSU athletes won in track and field alone, they would be tied. No, they would rank third, not tied, third in all countries in medals.
Say that again.
In the track and field. So out of all of the track and field competitions and all the medals won in track and field, LSU, the school, LSU, with their athletes and the medals that they won, would rank third amongst all of the countries
as a country
in medals won on the track and field, which is impressive. It goes to show you how awesome LSU sports are. Obviously, everyone talks about basketball. Basketball. Everyone talks about football. Everyone talks about baseball, and then women's basketball. But track and field is
doing it
and has been one of the best sports at LSU. United States of America obviously leads this with the 34.
No, this is in gold medals.
Track and field medal count.
I just have it on the screen.
Yeah. So, United States, 34 medals. Kenya, 11. LSU, 6 medals. No, 8 medals. 6 medals. My bad, 6. That would be third amongst countries, which is pretty awesome. So shout out, curtain call to LSU.
And my curtain call, something to get your chili a little hot to send you into
give me some chili
a
hot.
Thursday, an early weekend.
Uh-oh.
We have your defensive line coach compilation to getting the boys ready. Career highlights for the man.
Need to get in the transfer portal. You wanna go? Get in the motherfucker. This shit ain't a game to me. If you think it's a game, get the fuck out of this box. I got my ass kicked. And you motherfuckers wanna laugh? That's fucking real. You think it's a goddamn joke? And some of you motherfuckers do transfer out of this motherfucker. Cause I'm down with this shit. This shit's goddamn real. And we wanna laugh and joke? Fuck that.
They're gonna be good or no? You love that?
I like it.
I love that.
You didn't even have headphones on.
I heard it.
Oh, did you?
I can hear it.
I thought you
Yeah.
were being sarcastic.
No, I could hear it. Need that. When the highlight videos start coming out, it's gonna be great.
If you think that there's a line more used than the one he used, you think it's all fun and games out here? It's that every coach at every level has ever said that. Fuck you.
Plays.
God, I can't wait till football season starts, man. We need something. We need some energy. I need something.
Do you feel better? Are you off the cloud?
I do feel a little bit better.
You just had pent up energy for the show.
I don't know what the deal was, dude.
You need
I
some
really
peanut butter
don't know.
crisps,
I don't know what was going on.
a couple
it was like,
Starbursts.
It's all in your mind, dude.
It was
you
a
know?
weird. It was a weird deal.
Now you're back.
Yeah.
Go for a walk.
Didn't like that feeling at all. All day. It was all day.
Sorry, show.
No, I
No.
put it on, didn't I? I turned it on for the show.
I was going to apologize for no stroke.
For no what?
No
Oh
stroke.
my god.
Oh, jeez, dude. That's
Made a promise.
They're dark. All right. On that note, we appreciate you. We love you. We'll be back live in studio from 1 to 2-ish on Friday. Can't wait to have our Loosey Goosey Friday here at Indigo. IndigoPapers.com. If you have any needs of little CBD, THC seltzers or
Tinctures.
Delta 9s or tinctures
Or gummies.
Gummies.
Or
IndigoPapers.com is where you can get it. Try it. Tell me what you think.
Flour.
We're gonna have some of these guys come on here and explain the science behind what they got going on. I can't explain. I'm not smart enough for that. They are. But join us on Friday. Hang out with us. Shoot the shit with us. Nobody really wants to work on Friday, so come hang out with us. We appreciate you. We love you. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so. If you don't like watching us and you like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods, we appreciate the support. Thank you for the questions on Ask Mikey Mitch. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. If you haven't seen Hard Knocks, watch it with me tonight.
Watch along. Live stream.
Yeah, that's what we want. I do want to go. I do want to come to your house, Lloyd, and I want to play NCAA.
Oh, speaking of Caleb Downs, got him out the portal. No big deal.
Oh, he transferred again, huh?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Got him at LSU.
Yeah. Foreshadowing, maybe. A little foreshadowing.
I think Lloyd's full of shit. I
Yeah.
think he cheated this thing.
You can't cheat with the transfer
Third
portal. All
time's
you
a
can do is
charm.
make
He
him.
finally got him. Almost got him out of high school. Almost got him at Alabama. Now you got him at Ohio State.
Got him at LSU.
I know. You got him out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
You know?
I
The
did.
third time you recruit him. So good job. Congratulations.
Thank you. Makes a big difference on the defense.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
You
All right.
boy.
Enjoy the rest of your night. We love y'all.
Preliminary will be emceeing CanaFest on October 5th.
Oh, yeah. I meant to ask you that. He told me to tell you.
Yeah.
Good
Gotta
for
check
you.
the
Look
old
at you.
schedule. Yeah. Hot on the mic.
When is it?
October 5th.
Okay.
Gotta check the old twerk schedule, but I think I can make some time
Good
for
hands.
CanaFest.
Good hands.
Obviously sober.
Obviously. Got it.
Still got it.
I'm gonna come hang out with you.
You could. We'll
There you
be way up.
There you go. Way up. Way up.
Way up.
Yep. All right.
Later.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.